How the fuck are you, you maggot-infested bats' nests? Galactic criminal here. And this group that I'm about to check out is coming highly recommended, at least for me, saying that if you like the artist murder, this is probably gonna kick your ass. And for all you whiny fucking pussies that are bitching and complaining that I'm doing too much metalcore and deathcore, you are more than welcome to fuck off. That's the kind of shit that I'm into right now, so if you don't like it, too fucking bad. So I went ahead and looked these guys up on the Google. Says there's some blackened deathcore out of Copenhagen. Denmark, huh? Some Denmark deathcore. Blackened deathcore. How much more evil can deathcore really get? I guess we're about to find out. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to go super old or they got a new album out, so I kind of went in between, whatever, who fucking cares. CABAL. Purge. That's a sick name too. CABAL. With a 1, 2. Let's go. Epilepsy. Wow, dude. Wow. I'll tell you straight off the fucking top, man, I feel thy art is murder. Influence is all over this shit, man. Maybe not so much their new stuff. Some of the older stuff, definitely. In the vocal, the cadence of the guttural, and also using that higher pitched scream that thy art doesn't really use that much anymore, and the rhythm and pacing of this thing, man, absolutely gave me vibes of that as well. I will say, going into this track, as many other deathcore tracks that I check out, is that I'm getting myself essentially prepared for something that's just gonna fucking kick off into hyperspeed. You usually tend to expect something like a blast beat or something like that to be in there, and this track was definitely not that. For me, I kind of feel like maybe that's what the blackened part of it is. I don't understand that shit. I'm probably never gonna understand it, but that's maybe the element of this track that I was kind of deriving here, with the blackened bit, the slower pace, the sort of overarching melody, some of the cool riffing and shit like that was in here, man, totally threw me off guard. Again, like I said, I was getting ready for something a lot faster than this, dude, and fucking... the heaviness of a slower paced deathcore track like this is just incredible. Just this ambient fucking, it's not anger. It's not anger. It's just like kind of just below the surface of that, dude. And I was feeling it. This track now is also another one that I kind of feel, aside from the vocals, obviously, the drumming was a standout feature in this one. And now not so much because it was like super technical or whatever, but just like its presence was very, very, very much known, especially in a certain couple of sections when there was a sort of like double kind of bass happening, dude, but like it was really bassy. It kind of reached out over top of everything else. It kind of became almost like the heartbeat of this track. Dude, again, like the pace of it being as slow as it was kind of running akin to like almost like a resting heartbeat, but kind of bringing my adrenaline up at the same time, man. So cool. And as for like the guitars and shit on this track, absolutely incredible. No fucking gripes there, dude. It wasn't incredibly technical. Then again, I don't think, for me personally, just after hearing this track, that this is a group that goes for something like that. It feels like they go more for like the heavy, genty style, man. Fucking... Just, it was such a great accompaniment to, again, the pace of this thing and the drums and the vocal, having this just like, this incredibly bassy feel to everything. Incredibly bassy feel to everything. I can imagine going to one of these shows and just feeling that reverberation coming off of the fucking speakers, man, just right about before they're gonna explode. Also, a really cool addition to this track, I feel, that kind of added to almost like the sort of creepy, eerie factor to the song itself, was like just a little after the minute mark, they had this like overarching style riff that was, I don't know, it sounded like a ooky spooky kind of thing that they would throw on like an old school slasher flick, man, and that just like, it brought the ambiance that was already being set up for this track to a whole different level. I appreciate that shit. Now, as I did say before, that they seem to be very much going for that slower rhythm, slower pace. That's not to say for me it wouldn't have been nice to have like maybe a couple of intermittent double kick sections or blast beat sections in there, just to kind of accent the really, really heavy bits. Just... you know, and then go back into the other kind of style that they were doing for this thing. I don't know the terminology and shit, I just know what I'm hearing. But yeah, for me, it would have been nice if they had have added a couple of those moments to just kind of maybe accent a couple of vocal hits, you know, like, you know, that kind of shit. But that's just a, like, personal, little tiny itty-bitty gripe, a stupid fucking thing that came into my head. Then we hit about, like, the minute and a half mark of this track, and just the drop right there, dude, as slow as it was already, again, like I said in another track, the emptiness that is there, the space in between some of the drum rolls and shit like that in the fucking drop sections, just, ooh, just, it feels so heavy, such a heavy fucking feeling on that, dude, and leading out of that, kind of like going toward like the 2 minute mark, doing another, like I said, those moments where it's a very, like, not even, I guess not in this track, it wasn't very tranquil, it was really heavy, it just, kind of feeling, and then just the scream coming out of that, and the drum choice with that scream was absolutely fantastic. It fucking just hammered home my fucking appreciation for this style. For any of you fuckheads out there thinking, like, how can he like everything? I do not like everything. I checked out 4 different bands before this one that just really didn't do anything for me, so shut up! Ha! And no, I'm not gonna tell you who they were, they'll just never get a video. But then moving on with the track, we get a little past the 2-minute mark and we get ourselves another drop, this one being a little lengthier. Again, sort of relying on the gap in between the drums to find it to add that weight to it, and it's holding on to that shit for me, man, and gripping my attention. And then they start getting melodic, another fucking eerie sort of riff starts pulling out from that drop section, leading you into the rest of the track, dude. That was absolutely a cool addition. But then you hit about the 3-minute mark, the drum style changes into this like staccato fucking style. I don't know what they call it, but it was pretty cool. It was fun to move to, but I was also thinking with that change, are they gonna, like, for the last minute out of nowhere just blast into hyperspeed and do a fucking blast beat and shit? But it's not what they did. They did pretty much the polar opposite, getting in toward like the last 30 to 40 seconds of the track, slowing it down to almost a crawl. I was like, oh man, I've never heard a track end this way. Any of the bands that I'd listened to so far, nothing like this one, dude. Again, like I said, I wasn't really prepared for and hadn't really heard yet a deathcore track that was as slow as this one was. And I'm kind of a fan. I'm kind of a fan of it. I'm a little bit back and forth as to how much I really enjoy it. I'm gonna have to listen to a little more of this band though, because again, like I said before, they do kind of have like an influence here that I feel of Thy Artist Murder, and I really, really like that band. So I'm gonna have to give some more of this a chance, dude. Abso-fucking-lutely. So yeah, for me, overall, solid fucking deathcore track. I was expecting a faster song, but I'm glad that I got to experience this style. So hey, what did you think of these guys? Do you know what blackened actually means? Let me know in the comments below. Of course, there will be a link in the description for this video, so you can go ahead and watch it for yourself. Full screen, full audio, and get the full experience. And as always, have yourself a fantastic evening.